Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In my last video, I briefly talked about vectors. I talked about what they are and how to add and subtract vectors. I also said that for this video, I will be talking about on how to cross and dot multiply vectors. However, before I do that, I need to continue with adding vectors together. I want to show you some examples on adding vectors and finding the resultants. Let's do a very simple vector problem. Let's say this is your starting point in your house. Your house will be the top because that is your starting point. And you're going to go visit a friend that is 5 miles due east. Where your friend lives is your head, and as you can see, we have our magnitude 5 miles and we have our direction east. Now let's say you want to visit your parents, and from your friend's house they are 9 miles due east. So for this vector, again, where you start is your tail and where you end is your head. We just drew two vectors. Now if we add the vectors together, we get what? We get the resultant. The resultant is the addition of vectors. And the resultant is the distance from where you first started, which is your house, and where your final destination is, which is your parents' house. In this example, because we went 5 miles due east, and then we went another 9 miles due east, we can add both vectors together. 5 miles plus 9 miles is going to give us 14 miles. And don't forget our direction, east. Now keep this in mind, the vectors that we added are in the same plane and are going the same direction. Because of this, we can just simply add them. However, if at least one of the vectors are at an angle, then we will have to break the vectors into components. The breaking of vector into components has to be explained later on another video. Now I want to add vectors that are perpendicular to each other. So for this example, you're at your house and you want to go visit your grandparents. From your house, your grandparents live 5 miles due south. Again, where we start is our tail and where we end is our head. After visiting your grandma and grandpa, you decide to visit your brother, which lives from your grandparents' house 9 miles due east. Now to get the resultant is again from where you start to where you end. And for this example, you can see we started at your house and we ended at your brother's house. So what we want is the length of this vector and its direction. What we have here is a right triangle. And for right triangles, we can use the Pythagorean Theorem to get the hypotenuse, which is the resultant. Here we do 5 squared plus 9 squared equals to x squared. 5 times 5 is 25 and 9 times 9 is 81, which equals to x squared. We add 25 and 81 together and we have 106. Take the square root on both sides of the equation and what we get is 10.3 miles, which is the resultant of the vectors. So we just got the resultant, the magnitude, which is 10.3 miles. But we also need to get the direction. To find the direction, we need to find the angle. And we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. We're going to use the TOA part. So this is the angle we want. What's opposite to this angle is this leg right here. The length of that is 5 miles. What's adjacent to this angle? What's adjacent is the 9 miles. So we're going to use TOA. So we're going to take the inverse tangent of the opposite leg, which is 5 miles, over the adjacent leg, which is 9 miles. If you put that in your calculator, the inverse tangent of 5 over 9 is going to give you 29.05 degrees. Let's say it's 29 because it's just really close to 29. So what we got is the direction. And what we have in total, we have from where you started, from your house, to where you ended, to your brother's house, is 10.3 miles. And the direction of that from the x-plane is 29 degrees. So for this video, we use the tail to head method to draw a vector. We added vectors that were parallel and perpendicular to each other, and we got the resultant and direction. I hope you guys had a great time. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.